What in the heck happened to the bond market in 2022?
Well, it's a wild ride. So we have to go back a little bit and just see what was going on with the economic environment back in 2022. So inflation was running rampant. I think in 2022, top line inflation reached almost 9%. And the mechanism that the Federal Reserve uses to try to curb inflation, they'll raise interest rates. So if you're out trying to buy a house or a car, the interest rate's going to be higher, and that, in theory, should slow down economic activity because you might not buy that house, you might not buy that car, you might not start a business, you might not borrow any money. That's the idea behind them raising interest rates. So it affects the people who want to borrow money, but it also affects another group of people who have already lent money. So just as an example, let's say you had, and really anytime you lend money, that's what a bond is. So let's just say you had lent money to a corporation, i.e. you purchased a bond at 3%, say it's a 10-year bond, and you paid $100 for it. All of a sudden, new bonds come out and they're paying 5%. Again, assuming a 10-year bond, the present value of that bond now that interest rates have gone up is about $84. So that's kind of the problem that we had with bonds back in 2022.
84 per 100, is that
per
what you're saying?
100? Yeah, exactly.
I see it. Yeah.
So you've taken a loss on paper on the face value of your bond.
So obviously then what happened was interest rates in 2022 went up. Everybody's holding these long-term bonds with a lower yield, and it just devalued them, I guess, in a sense.
That's correct.
Is that correct?
Yeah. On paper,
the
value of those bonds decreased dramatically.
So let's say you kept that bond to its maturity in 10 years. Would you get all your original principal back?
All the face value, all the original principal you put in, plus all the interest that it would have earned in that time, you would have gotten that back with no risk.
Good explanation. So how did we react? Because we did. I think we were on top of this. It did catch us off guard at first because the interest rates went up so quickly. But how did we react to this issue with the bonds, and what two products did we introduce to our clients that have really been helpful to them?
Well, so in Schwab, what we did, we tried to shorten the duration of bonds. That's a key aspect to bond valuation, is how long they are. The longer a bond is, the more susceptible to fluctuations based on interest rates it is. So we tried to implement more short-term fixed income within Schwab. And then we also introduced new MYGAs, multi-year guaranteed annuities. They're really just fixed annuities, so they function similar to the way a CD at a bank would. You put the money in and it pays you a guaranteed rate of interest each year. And again, you don't have to worry about that, assuming that you hold it to maturity. So with rising short-term interest rates, we were able to do quite a few things to adjust to this. But that being said, there were definitely losses taken on bond positions.
And then we also introduced two new strategies, the CP and CD. You can tell everybody what those acronyms are, but we've also helped purchase through Schwab a ton of CDs for our clients who wanted those, correct?
That's right, yeah. So CP stands for capital preservation. The idea behind it, it's really just 4 separate money market funds. So it's like CDs, it's like cash in that it's completely liquid, but it's like CDs because it does have a higher yield. You can get the money whenever you need to without penalty. So it's been a good place to put money for that short-term bucket, that need now, if you do need to make one-time distributions and so forth. The other one is really a true certificate of deposit, or CD portfolio, where we have one or more CDs that earn a probably higher rate of interest than capital preservation. It's for a little bit of a longer term, and we're able to shop those as they come up for clients that want to be in that strategy.
And I think, Wes, the advantage of working with us at Tony Walker Financial, and I get it, people might say, well, I can just go down to the bank and get a CD. Why would I pay you all 0.8%? Is we know, I mean, from our experience, that these rates are not going to stay this high. They're basically going to probably come back down at some point. In fact, I know we've got some articles on this we might share in a minute, but really, what is that person going to do? If they just kind of go off on their own and try to get a CD, kind of tell folks what we're doing in terms of our thoughts on what interest rates might do and our position on CDs, bonds, and short-term interest rate annuities.
Well, if you run off to the bank and you put your money into a short-term CD, let's say it's a 1-year CD, a year from now, you're going to have to make a decision on what to do with that money when the CD proceeds come up for maturity. We don't know what interest rates will do in that 1-year period, but if they fall, so let's say the Federal Reserve decides, all right, inflation's good, we can take down these interest rates. Well, in that case, CDs aren't going to be paying as much anymore. And you're going to be left with a bank account, so to speak, and no one to really advise you on it. So that's where we step in, is we're able to really, come up with solutions for that maturing CD money a year from now. So although, yeah, you might be paying us a fee, there is more planning that goes behind those CDs that we purchased through Charles Schwab.
Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed that video. If you'd like, check out these other clips. And be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button for more videos.